Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Rhonda and today I'm doing a paint with me video. Plus I'm showing you a few art supplies that I found at a little art store in the Bishop Arts District, which is in the DFW area near Dallas. I picked up these sets of acrylic gouache that I have wanted for quite a long time. And I also got this Leuchtturm journal. It's an A6 or pocket size with a square or grid inside. I was able to go to this Mosaic handmade store, which is I guess it's a maker's store. It's in Dallas as well in the Bishop Arts. And I got these business cards, Dotted Line Studio, Joy Paper Company, and Shauna Smith Studio. I was going to check them out. And this little pin is by Gina Blee, and I looked up her website and it's super cute. I love her fox. She does a lot of pretty art, and I believe this sticker is by the Dotted Line Studio, and I got it also at the Mosaic store, and I'm gonna put it on my journal for a little bit of decoration. And yes, I'm super excited to use this journal. I've seen another bullet journaler YouTuber use this size, and I fell in love with the size after seeing her channel, and I'll put her information below. It's Kimmy Vera also uses those journals, and I don't know, they're so pretty. Now that I don't know why I have never thought to use a smaller journal, but it'll be really nice because I'm always trying to take my journal with me, and it's hard to take your big journal with you wherever you go, so the little journal is, I think, going to be a perfect size. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the paint with me. So I've put down some watercolor paper, and I'm using, oh my gosh, the pigment in these paints is just so pretty. They're a little bit different than, I have gouache, and that's what I use a lot of. I use gouache or watercolor, and I consider myself a beginner, so I don't know how much I can really explain what I'm doing, because I'm just experimenting really. But I found a picture on Pinterest of a mountain scene with some water and flowers, and so I guess this is my interpretation of that photo. So I'm just mixing some of the colors. I mixed the red and blue with some white to make the purple, and then a tiny bit of blue and more red and white to make the darker pink mountain there. Then I'm using, I believe I'm using my Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleep Proof White Paint for the clouds. And then for the water, I mixed a little bit of this light blue and a tiny bit of the green I made. And so I forget the name of the paintbrush I found at this art store. It was $1, but I really like it. I'm used to using really cheap paintbrushes, so I spent $1 on this paintbrush, and it handled completely different than the ones I bought at Hobby Lobby, which are come in a pack, and they're like $5 for a bunch of them. And but I've gotten used to those cheap paintbrushes, so I actually go back to using it in a second here because I was having trouble figuring out. I think it's the paints too. This is my first time to use these acrylic gouache, and so basically acrylic gouache is like acrylic mixed with gouache, so it doesn't behave exactly like a gouache, and I'm still kind of learning the differences. Seemed less opaque somehow than gouache, but maybe it's the way I'm using it. I kind of expected it to behave more like a gouache, but so yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research and a little bit of practice with them to know how to use them better. But this is the finished painting, and I really like it. I think it's really bright, and just reminds me of a happy, relaxing day. So, and also I'm going to hold it up. These are the gouache I usually use. They're the Reeves cheap gouache, and I painted this scene with them, and you can kind of see the difference. The acrylic gouache are a lot brighter, and yeah, but you know, if you need a cheap gouache, the Reeves works pretty well. So now I'm just going to open up to the very back of this new journal, and I wanted to paint. I just wanted to use some of these paints before they dried out, because with gouache you can reactivate the paint with water, but with the acrylic gouache, once it's dry you can't reactivate it, and so I didn't want to waste the paint that I'd already used. I didn't plan on painting any of the Leuchtturm, but I thought, you know, I might as well try it out and see what it looks like in the Leuchtturm paper. So of course it was a little bit I don't know, I mean, it's different paper, so it handles a little bit different than the watercolor paper, but to be honest, I actually got excited because I used these paints in here, and I really didn't. I thought, you know, I mean, really, you can paint on any paper. I mean, yes, it's nice to have watercolor paper, and yes, it's nice to have thicker paper when you're painting, but really, you can use whatever you want and just have fun. And of course, I'm not painting this to sell or anything like that, but when you're just learning and having fun, then use whatever paper you want. I guess that's the whole point of this really long ramble. Also, what I think I noticed is that, like I said before, these paints they're not opaque like the Reeves. At least they didn't seem to be. And it's harder to cover up when you make mistakes, because with the gouache you can just pretty much choose whatever color and paint over the underneath color. But I found this more difficult to do with these paints. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this short video. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one.